Welcome into another episode of Farming Simulator 22 with me, the midlife Simster. Again, thank you for joining me whilst I continue to embrace my gaming incompetence here out in the Carpathian countryside. So after the last episode, not masses of things really achieved, just kind of starting the farm, setting it up and making our way around. Very little in the way of like speed cuts and edits and things like that on that first episode, but going forward now we'll start kind of seeing a change in that. Plan is here I'll do the headland on this field, which is enormous, and then we will set off our worker, I think, to go and see what they can do with this field, and they're a difficult shape. See what mess they make of it. Meanwhile, we'll collect the pull of straw from previous fields, so that's ready then for us to start turning over in consideration around new crops and where we're gonna go next with that. This is a much bigger field than I had realised. We're going to get an awful lot of crop from here. Generally, just really looking forward to this map. Getting to know it, getting to find my way around, what works, what's kind of nice little touches on there. Little twists. Stop spraying that, my friend. Seeing how we can get on with our kind of production lines, things like that. Yeah, it's looking forward to seeing how this kind of plays out, really. I think the first year is going to be a little tough for us. Just try and kind of rent a lot of the machinery that we need, if there's any sort of left. I know we've got quite a lot to begin with, so hopefully there won't be too much of a need for that. And then come next year, then in between then do some silage leading up to next year, where we can hopefully have a little bit of financing behind us and start off a couple of the productions and just see where this goes, really. So there we go. A couple of new followers over the last week on the channel, which is great. Very, very grateful for that. It's such a strange thing when you kind of start off your YouTube journey, I suppose, because I know that I'm not going to be a big channel. I know I'm not going to go out there, set the world like that isn't. I'm not providing that sort of content. You know, I'm not looking for the clickbait and targeting various different things. I'm playing games that have been out a long time, like this, and obviously SnowRunner. You know, these games have got their established audiences and YouTubers already, so I'm entering into a very saturated market. It's simply just, for me, this is just about that opportunity to just try and engage with a couple of like-minded people, really. See who's out there, see, you know, try and engage on the comments, see what people think, and, you know, if I can find a couple of people that same sort of mindset as me, enjoy the same sort of things, and happy days. I touched on it kind of briefly, really, in the first episode. I found a massive benefit to my mental health. Not only just playing this game, just watching other people play it. I can't really explain it. I don't understand how watching this game is popular, but it obviously is when you see the various channels that are out there. You know, my inspiration channels in the form of Daggerwin and Mr. CLP and Farmer Carp and whatnot. And I just really took a lot of enjoyment from when I was pottering about the house, doing kind of chores, just having an episode of one of theirs on in the background, just watching, not necessarily learning, maybe a few bits here and there, but generally speaking, more just kind of listening to the content. Especially Mr. CDP. Love that guy. Really, really love that guy. Would love to have a kind of cup of tea with him and just chew some fat. I think he's. I don't know much about him. I've only been following him maybe the last kind of 18 months, I suppose, 12, 18 months. Yeah, just really, really interested about his sort of backstory, his life and things. Be fascinated to see, kind of have those conversations with him. Right then, so that's 95% without even trying. We are gonna get a haul. Right then. Well, I will say apologies in advance. I'm doing quite a late night recording. So if you have watched my Snow Runner series, you'll know young family, everyone in bed, so it's my opportunity then to go and record. But it also means that it's my responsibility if any of them wake up and having a bit of a bad night. So they are very young. So for example, just then, little the elder of them was having a bit of a moment, bless. So had to go and sort them out. So you may find that the kind of the edit is a little jumpy in parts. So I do apologise for that to an extent, but not that much, because family first always, isn't it? So right, let's take our trailer down here, and then we can set off the harvester to go and do its own thing. Can't really remember best way, because probably been a good 5 or 6 days now since I did this first episode. Been quite difficult to record this week. A lot going on with work. We're doing the my Snow Runner series as well, so I wanted to try and get a couple of those episodes banked, so I could bring those out. Strange, going back to the algorithms and kind of being a new YouTuber. Naturally, up there, isn't it? Naturally, don't get massives of attention and likes and watches and things like that, and views. Sorry. My first Snow Runner video went from sort of, I think it was maybe kind of peaked out at about 40 to 50 views, and that was probably a month or so ago now that came out. And just the last couple of days, all of a sudden, it's kind of skyrocketed in my world. And I think it's on the best part of 200 views. And I'm just fascinated as to how that happens. Like, why does that come about that way? I don't really understand how it gets that attention now, when there's, I don't know, 12 other videos on the channel. Strange. I do try and learn about these things, you know, watch a few other sort of like vidIQ and things like that, just to try and have an understanding of why it's doing what it's doing. Yeah, it's fair to say I'm none the wiser, really. Don't understand it at all. Really chuffed. I think that's probably what brought on the extra couple of subscribers, get me into the double figures. No, as I've said many a time, I'm no Mr. Beast, but still very really chuffed with that. I was quite tempted to do second headland just because of the strange shape of this field, but I think didn't do that very well, did I? I think I'm just going to set this worker off. The only thing I wonder about is, might it be more effective with a straight line there, just to go back and forth, and that would then benefit from double headland. But I can always mop up that last thing. It's not going to be nearly as time effective going across. You know, you're always going to be better doing the long strip. No, I think we'll just set it off, see which angle it wants to go at, and then deal with the outcome of that from there. Let's go. Which way do you want to go, my friend? Just going to go straight at it. There we go. Hopefully, at the bottom, it'll go left. Not the end of the world if it goes right. It's just going to get stop and start. But maybe if it goes left, we could then finish off everything that's to our right as we look at it. So, right, we'll leave that do its thing. We'll now head over to start picking up all the straw. And I think what we'll do is, this is probably a good opportunity for a little speed cut. So I'll see you in a little bit. So it would appear that I'm going to have to do the rest of this because our workers are a little bit crazy and don't seem to appreciate that there is still the best part of half a field to deal with. So, hey ho. Not managed to gather much of that straw, as you've seen. The issue being obviously the trailer that we're using at the moment. Whoops, sorry. To collect the actual harvesting so all the grains coming out of this field isn't that big, so it kind of takes no time to fill that up. Then I've got to run that back, drop that off. The trailer next harvest is going to be priority. But for now, it will do. No point spending early game money unnecessarily, so we will inevitably need every penny that we've got. Especially, excuse me, especially if we're gonna look into doing animals in this first year. I'd like to, just because I'd like to just get them growing, get them maturing as quick as possible. But they do take a lot of effort. They'll use up a lot of the silage that I intend to try and harvest, sell. So we may need to do some contract work to try and top things up. But again, I'm not a massive fan. Contracts are the way to make money in this game, certainly early game. Let's have a look out of interest. Baling takes a long time, so we don't particularly want to do that. Harvesting, as you can see, is even longer. Field 9, but 40,000. It's quite straight. There is an argument to say you could take that on, use their equipment, just set a worker off. Yes, you're going to spend a lot of money on the worker, and obviously have that reduced then by £4,000 as well, because you're going to use their equipment. But that could be a relatively easy £20,000, £30,000 just running in the background. Spraying and fertilizing is the way to go. By far the easiest one, especially if you get a mod trailer that can really do the job a lot quicker. Do you know what we're gonna? I'm gonna accept it. So it's there in the background for us once we've done our own stuff. I'm very aware, obviously, that the clock at the moment is a bit cheaty, this part, but when I first start a map, I like to run it at 1 just to give myself, because I haven't got that second day, because it's going to jump straight to September now when we come to the end of the day, rather than give me the 2 days that I want per month. So I kind of feel like it's a bit of it's not as cheaty as it maybe feels, I suppose. But I am aware that a lot of people will just say, yeah, it's a bit cheaty. Just start your timer. Yeah, do you know what? It's a new day, isn't it? It's a new dawn. So let's run it at 3. My preference, once we go to 2 days, we to run it at 5, I think. We'll see when we get there. But for now, let's get this first day. Just kind of running, see how it kind of plays out. At ×3. Still, I mean, that's still plenty of time for the first day. Or at least it should be. When you look at what we've got to actually achieve, we've only got these 2 fields to harvest. excuse me, our soybeans up here aren't ready. Grass isn't ready. Actually, the grass might be ready, but it can wait. It's not the end of the world there. So really, once this field is done, we're kind of good. It all just comes down to then, what are we going to do with these fields? Obviously the preference will be to try and maximize the yield that's going to come from them, which may then, when you look at both of them, require fertilizing. Both of them need to be ploughed, so plenty of work to do on these fields. The plough on this one particularly is going to take a real long time. Historically, the old 6/9 meter mod plough, the lizard plough, Old Faithful, great, but you need a big old tractor to power that. And again, it's not particularly realistic, and I'm not saying I'm going to play this series overly realistic, but I'd like to at least sort of doff the cap, as it were, towards realism. He says when he's going to be using like auto trailers and auto load trailers for the various things, and half of the sheds are auto load. But as I say in the SnowRunner series, it's still a game. You play it how you want to play it. So if you want to jump between the vehicles, if you want to use mods that make it unrealistic, that's fine. You know, you should play this game so that it's enjoyable to you, not a chore. Yes, there should be a grind to it, I think, but you know, you need to be able to enjoy it. It's still just a game. I was starting to read last couple of days about the potential now for when the next release is coming out of Farming Simulator. Some talk that it'll be end of this year. There's not much being mentioned yet. Unless I'm just looking in the wrong place. But I guess it would tie in with a few other things around the series and the DLC and stuff. I don't know. Right. So incredibly, that is our field completed. One very dirty harvester, a bucket load of crop, good times all around. So then we can just focus on trying to get all this straw out the field. I'm keen to keep it, use it for the animals. I mean, this stuff could keep us going a very long time, realistically. So our loaned equipment down there. So now we can take the John Deere back, drop the grain off, leave the trailer down there, and then we may, on the next run through then, with the straw, swap them over. Because if I remember rightly, this John Deere is more powerful than the Valtra, is it? I don't know, I'll have to check that. and then it'll be a case of heading off to our contract field. Now this is actually ready to harvest, so again though, it's going to need a bit of work once we've harvested it to try and get a better yield out of that, because really at this point that is our money field right there. That grass, that's where the dollars are going to come from. Go this way just to mix up a little bit, is it? Take the roof off those sheds, I think that's brilliant. I'm not going to do that, but how cool is that? And then, wait, I don't even know what these are. Vehicle shelter storage composition. Okay. Some more storage for pallets and whatnot. Bales, I assume. Whoops, wasn't paying any attention then, sorry. Rip the front wheel off. We got 171, 175, 190, 190. Yeah, okay. Nothing in it. Food for thought. Food for thought. Let's have a look at. We got the bale loader there. It's not an auto. So I think we could probably bin this off. Change it up for an auto. Make our lives a little easier. Or do we go realism? Semi-realism. Go with the front loader tool and it'll pick up the 3 bales. Yeah, okay. Bit of thinking. It's not going to be for this episode, I don't think. Because we're already starting to creep up a little bit on the recording time, so I'll jump ahead. You don't need to watch me just going up and down the straw, picking up the straw. So we'll fill this this trailer up. I'll see you in a moment. So decision there to bring in some cows now. Excuse me. The thinking simply is that the sooner I get them growing, the sooner they'll be breeding, the sooner they'll be making us money. it does come with its obvious issues. We don't have any silage to make TMR. So we're going to maybe have to buy some cow feed basically to see us through a couple of months until we're in that position to do it. So I don't know if maybe that's a foolish decision or not, but we shall see. The other thing I was thinking was about doing full cuts. So instead of doing a speed cut on the next episode, what I might just do is just cut it. I'll record everything, but just completely nothing of any note or value or interesting happens, which generally it doesn't. And you're just going up and down collecting straw. Then for the sake of the video timings, it might be a little bit easier just to do some jump cuts, and then I may well do this straw collection off camera even. Just kind of sort of make reference to it at some point. Certainly in this field anyway. Maybe the next field. I sort of gut feeling is it's telling me bales rather than straw. I just want to see how much this field will put that cow barn. So we'll see. Again, pretty straightforward episode really though, isn't it? I mean, not really achieved a great deal for the amount of time that we've been recording, but it's been nice to have a little chat and start the game off and the series. I mean, it's gonna be a long series, that's the whole point of it. So there's no rush in it. I can't put out an episode a day. That isn't how this is going to work. So it is going to require a little bit of patience. But if you have enjoyed it, please do give me a like and a follow. It generally does mean the world to me. I can't explain how much enjoyment I get from just seeing that I've gained a follower. It's quite embarrassing. In the comments, please let me know if there's anything I could be doing better. If there's anything you'd be doing differently, maybe consideration around what to do next with these fields. If you've got any thoughts on that, any crops you think you find that when you play the game are more beneficial than others, that would set up nicely for the production line in the future. So please let me know how you think that the series should go. If you would like to share this video, please do be my guest, and until the next time I see you and this will all be finished off, be happy, stay safe, and we'll speak again soon. Take care.